Okay, so for the past couple of years, it feels like everyone has been talking about AI, right? The explosion has been incredible. But while we were all captivated by LLMs and image generators, something else was happening, kind of just beneath the surface, a parallel revolution. And honestly, a massive one, in the world of robotics. So let's really get into this because it's a super important question. It feels like this giant leap in technology has flown completely under the radar for most people. But the signs, they're everywhere. And the progress, it's just staggering. I mean, just to see how fast things have moved, think back to 2015. Remember those robots from the DARPA challenge? They were clumsy, super unstable, and cost like $500,000 each. These were basically one-off research projects. Fast forward to today, for under $6,000, you can go out and buy a mass-produced humanoid from a company like Unitree that can literally do backflips. The jump in just a handful of years it's mind-blowing. And look, this isn't some niche hobby for tech enthusiasts. We're talking about a global market for humanoid robots that's projected to hit $38 billion by 2035. When you see a number that big, you know this isn't just a tech race. It's a full-on, fierce global competition. So that begs the question, right? Why is all of this happening now? What was that missing piece of the puzzle that just suddenly unlocked everything? Well, the answer, pretty ironically, brings us right back to the very same technology that's been stealing the spotlight. You can think of it like this. For decades, we've gotten really good at building the robotic body, the hardware. But the problem was always the brain. What we were missing was a flexible, adaptable brain. And that's where the new AI comes in. These latest multimodal AIs that can see, understand language, and hear, that was the key. That's what finally made a general-purpose humanoid robot a reality. The core tech behind all of this is something called a Vision Action Model, or VAM for short. Basically, it's a special kind of AI that connects what a robot sees with a command you give it in plain English, and then it translates that into a physical action. So you could say something like, "Hey, I'm thirsty," and the model understands that concept and can actually figure out the steps to go get you a drink. It's pretty wild. So how do these things even learn? Well, the process is actually fascinating. It starts with a human. An operator controls the robot remotely, through teleoperation, and has it do a task, let's say folding laundry. All of that video is then paired up with a simple text description, like fold the towel in half. Then you just feed thousands and thousands of these video and text examples into the AI. It starts to see the patterns, to learn the connection, and eventually, it can do the whole thing by itself. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, because this has become a true global race. And on one side, you've got the United States. Here, it's private companies leading the charge. And they're using these cutting-edge AI breakthroughs to build some seriously intelligent, high-quality robots. And man, these key players are moving fast. You've got Figure, whose robot is already on the job in a BMW factory, and they're talking about putting it in homes within 3 years. Then there's Tesla's Optimus, which is learning from the exact same AI that powers their self-driving cars. And of course, you can't forget the icon Atlas from Boston Dynamics. It's gone all electric and is now run by a single generalist AI. It's all about pushing the absolute limits of what these machines can do. A researcher from Boston Dynamics really nailed it. They said that the very same approaches used to build things like ChatGPT are now working for robots. It's taking the AI revolution and applying it to the physical world. And that changes absolutely everything. All right, now let's flip over to the other side of this race, because China is playing a totally different game. They're leaning into their national strengths. We're talking massive manufacturing scale, unbelievable speed, and just a huge amount of government support. I mean, let's be clear. China is already a beast when it comes to robot manufacturing. In 2023 alone, they were responsible for more than half of all the industrial robots sold on the entire planet. They've already got the whole world's factory thing down, so they're ready to build these new humanoids at a scale that's hard to even imagine. And the government there is just pouring gasoline on the fire. Check out this number, $1.4 billion. That's a robotics fund launched by just one city, Beijing. Shanghai launched a similar one. When you have that kind of cash being thrown around, it gives your companies a massive, massive head start. And you can see the results of that strategic focus pretty clearly. Just look at the patent filings. In the last 5 years, China has filed nearly 4 times as many robotics patents as the US. The sheer volume of R&D going on over there it's staggering.
So here's the bottom line on China's strategy. It's all about scale and cost effectiveness. They're using their manufacturing muscle to just pump out robots super fast and super cheap. Yeah, a lot of them right now are for things like entertainment or as R&D platforms, like that viral Unitree G1 you've probably seen. But don't let that fool you. Their capabilities are getting better at a blistering pace.
So what we've got here are two totally different playbooks, right? You've got America's focus on quality versus China's focus on quantity. But they're both sprinting towards the exact same finish line, a useful general-purpose humanoid robot. Which brings up a pretty basic question. With all this brain power, all this money being poured in, why do they have to look like us? Why are we so obsessed with the humanoid form? Why not just a box on wheels? Or, I don't know, a specialized robot arm? Well, it turns out there are some really logical reasons. First up is just practicality. Think about it. Our entire world, from the stairs we climb to the tools we use, is built for the human body. So if you have a humanoid robot, you don't have to re-engineer the entire world around it. That also makes them super versatile. And, there's a social aspect too. In a place like an elder care facility, a human-like shape can just be a lot more relatable, maybe even comforting. Okay, so let's just break down these two strategies one more time. You have the US approach. It's driven by private money. It's focused on that high-end AI and software, the quality. The result is amazing robots that just take a bit longer to get to market. Then you've got the China approach, driven by the government, focused on manufacturing and scale, the quantity. The result there is getting robots out the door faster, and they're improving at a crazy speed. It's that classic matchup, quality versus quantity. But here's what might be the single most important point in all of this. Experts figure that the brain, the AI and the software, makes up something like 80% of a humanoid robot's value. The physical body is only about 20%. So what does that mean? It means that even though China might be way ahead in building the body, the US currently has a big lead in creating the part that's actually worth the most: the brain versus the body. And that leaves us with one last question to chew on. This tech is moving way faster than anyone thought possible, and the prices are just plummeting. So, for a second, just forget about the global race between countries. Think about your own life. If a fully functional humanoid robot that could do your chores cost, say, $2,000, about the same as a new laptop, would you buy one? Because that day, it might be coming a whole lot sooner than you think.